Hey, Roger.
Frank, how are you doing? Thank you. You belong to, and keep your questions short so that it's can be addressed. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. What's up, Roger?
Nobody? No one? Okay. My name is Darshan. I'm from God's Place. It's just a I'm not all that interested in mystical interpretations of astronomical phenomena, I have to say. And the second part of the question was?
Biggest moment.
My birth, I suppose.
My name is Sachin from Navin Times, Goa. I'm sure there are a lot of Floyd fans here. So since we saw you at Live 8, so what are the chances of a reunion again with Gilmer, Mason and Wright?
All right.
Well, I really enjoyed Live 8, I have to say. I thought it was, it gave the four of us, David, Rick and Nick and myself, an opportunity you know, to put all the stuff behind us. And I found it very moving to perform those particular songs with those particular three guys. And I got the impression that the audience found it very moving as well. So who knows, whether we will ever do anything like that again is an unanswerable question at this point. I would do it in a heartbeat. I think Dave may be rather reluctant. I know Nick would do it. I don't know about Rick. So who knows? But there was something magical about those four, you know, those 8 hands coming together again on the stage in 4 voices. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
Hi, I'm Shalini.
On balance, I think The Wall. I have to say, yeah. Though I love Dog Show the Moon, I love Wish You Were Here and Animals, and also The Final Curtains. I think The Wall of the records that I made in those days with those guys, I think that's my favourite. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to think carefully to think what's the last thing that I listened to that wasn't involved in the work that I'm doing on this tour, because I listen to everything again and again, and because I'm constantly working on what we're doing. The last album that I listened to in any depth was the recent Dylan album, a lot of which I thought was great, particularly his new version of Rolling and Tumbling, which is a song I've always liked. I tend not to listen to much contemporary pop music. In fact, I don't listen to any of it, if I can help it. But that's not to say that I disapprove of it in any way. It's just that it's not an area of interest to me.
Yeah. What was that? Something about the Magic of the Four, where does he stand?
Well, he was one of the 4 before he went crazy, and Dave Gilmour became one of the 4. As you probably know, if you're a student of the history of the band, for a very short while we were actually 5, but it was an experiment that was doomed to failure, sadly. We tried to sort of keep Sid involved as long as possible, but failed in that endeavour. You know, always was and always will be an enormous fan of Sid's creative work. He was an extraordinary person. He was a great personal friend of mine before his illness, and I miss him very much. That's a hard question to answer on a number of grounds. One, because it's now 17 years ago, and two, because my attachment to the historical significance and my enjoyment of being part of that time in history was modified by the abject terror that I was feeling, because it was an enormous undertaking, and so it was very difficult for me to be completely involved, because part of me, the performer, director, whatever, was constantly worried about what might happen, what might go wrong next, you know. So the abiding memory that springs into my mind of that time was after it was all over, and we had to revisit the stage in the early hours of the morning because we lost power during the show itself, and for the subsequent DVD we needed to redo some pieces. I eventually arrived at a hotel somewhere where everybody was and a big party was going on, and Livon Helm of the band came up to me and he said, "Roger," and I said, "Yeah." He said, "I like your style, man. I want you to have my hat." And he gave me his baseball cap. And I've got it to this day, and I wear it whenever I go fishing. And it's those connections with other artists that really make those arrangements as special as they are, to work with, you know, people like Joni Mitchell and Van Morrison and Brian Adams and all the rest of the people involved. It was very special.
Thank you so much.